Hi everyone, my name is Nisi. I was born in New Britain, Connecticut, and I desire to launch my own online subscription-based business that's dedicated to helping young mothers like myself who have experienced traumatizing events either before, during, or after pregnancy. I am a recent graduate of Full Sail University, where I have obtained my Bachelor's of Science degree in digital marketing, and I am now furthering my education to mastering innovation and entrepreneurship. The first strategy I'm going to reflect on is the Primal inclination strategy. Robert Greene states that for masters, their inclination often presents itself to them with a remarkable clarity in childhood. Sometimes it comes in the form of a simple object that triggers a deep response. I truly agree with this statement. From a young age to present, I never really enjoyed reading, but I could write for days. Writing was my formation to expressing myself in ways that I couldn't physically. I was able to let emotions flow out upon paper in the form of storytelling, usually through writing raps or stories. This spark that I have endured never left, and it remains constant throughout my everyday life. Robert also mentions, and sometimes one's true inclinations can be revealed through an encounter with an actual master. This statement also resonates with me. Looking back to when I was a child to now, I noticed how much music in the rap culture has spoken to me. I would listen to my favorite artists such as T.I. and 50 Cent and carefully analyze their words, their flow, the beat chosen, and more before I started to write my own music or before I would begin to write anything. As writing my own music is more now just a hobby of mine, writing in general is that spark that never left my existence. When Robert said, in order to master a field, you must love the subject and feel a profound connection to it. Your interest must transcend the field itself and border on the religious. This spoke to me. I also want to reflect on the Darwinian strategy. Robert states that people occupy particular fields within which they must compete for resources and survival. The more people crowded into a space, the harder it becomes to thrive there. This strategy reminds me of where I'm at now. I have been working at a restaurant for years just to be able to make ends meet, if that. I don't love the restaurant industry. In fact, I don't even have a like for it. I settle with it because I'm still in school and need some kind of income with being a mother to a baby boy and having to take care of my disabled stroke victim father. With that being said, in a way I feel that I'm deducted with time on completing my true mastery. The rebellion strategy really stood out to me and brought an insight I'd like to share. To me, the strategy is furthermore explaining that you should follow your own path and not that of others. Not really in my own life have I experienced the situation of doing something only to please my parents. However, I have close friends that I have seen this happen to till this day. The book points out a great point, stating it is a healthy part of your development to follow a path independent of your parents and to establish your own identity. This statement can't be more on point, and I think that the hard choices behind pleasing your parents to pleasing yourself in the end are very much worth it for your own well-being. The adaptation strategy was my favorite strategy to learn about as it holds a lot of meaning to me. Robert goes to say you are not tied to a particular position, your loyalty is not to a career or a company, you are committed to your life's task, to giving it full expression. I think this is important to realize as so many of us feel that we are, and this drives us into situations where we tend to care more about the career or company we are in rather than our own physical and mental health. The life or death strategy is also a strategy that I hold close to my heart. The strategy is expressing the need to truly find what it is that resonates inside of you before you end up farther away from your path. In Robert's words, you must listen to the message of this frustration, this pain, and let it guide you as clearly as Fuller's voice guided him. It is a matter of life and death. This method reminds me of how I am constantly thinking of my future self. I tend to think this way because I know that one day my future self will be my present self. Going back to the adaptation strategy, Robert states, change is inevitable, particularly in such a revolutionary moment as ours. Since you are on your own, it is up to you to foresee the changes going on right now in your profession. You must adapt to your life's tasks to these circumstances. You do not hold on to past ways of doing things because that will ensure you will fail behind and suffer for it. You are flexible and always looking to adapt. I can relate with Freddie Roach's story from my own turning point. Roach was able to find himself back to the ring by not letting himself feel sorry or discouraged by not entering the exact field he thought he was destined for. Instead, he was able to overcome this by entering a field that relates to what he thought he was destined for, as the book states, a new direction within boxing. For years, I wanted to become a famous artist. However, change was forced upon me, and I am now learning how to adapt to these circumstances. Like Freddie Roach, I learned that what I loved wasn't to become a famous artist per se, but writing behind being an artist was. Now I am able to continue this passion I have for writing in ways to help other young mothers like myself. The dream career path that I deeply desire is creating and fully launching my own online subscription business that helps young mothers who have been through traumatizing events learn unique ways to cope and overcome these horrific experiences. I have already started the website, however, it is not ready for launch just quite yet. I started the blog Blooming Mama 101 because when I was pregnant and looking for mom blogs to turn to, there weren't really any blogs out there that I could relate to. Everything I came across seemed to portray a normal lifestyle, which was the opposite of my own. I wanted to create a mom blog that young mothers who have been through very rough times could relate to. My dream is to turn this into a membership blog where users can get more access to the content that I provide. The blog contains in-depth relatable stories that I personally write by myself with aromatherapy techniques as well as tips and advice. I am looking to expand the brand with creating aromatherapy products in the near future. 2 personal goals I have that I can achieve in the next 3 weeks are creating more stories for the website and getting the website intact so that I can hold and create a launch date.